Arthur, the driver who drove my husband for 10 years, told me a secret on his retirement day. Arthur, take these wines and gifts. And this one too. All these years you've been driving for Hunter Voss. Always so reliable, never a single accident. This is just a small token from me. Please take it.
Mrs. Voss, these 10 years, thank you.
I should be the one thanking you. If there's ever any trouble at home, just give me a call anytime.
Mrs. Voss, there's a hidden compartment in the trunk of Mr. Voss' Bentley. You should check it.
Hidden compartment in the trunk? Honey, why is there a bump here?
It's nothing. The spare tire is raised a bit. Let's go. Don't keep Mother waiting.
These business dinners. Hunter has them at least 3 times a week. I never used to think much of it before. But trust, once there's a crack in it, the wind starts blowing in. Arthur isn't the type to meddle in other people's business. He drove for Hunter Voss for 10 years and never said an extra word about anything. Today he turned around specifically to say one thing.
There's a hidden compartment in the trunk of Mr. Voss's Bentley. You should check it.
That means whatever's in that hidden compartment bothered him enough to hold it in for a long time. So long that he felt he owed it to me. Documents. Hampton, 17th Sandcrow Road, a 5,000 square foot estate. Owner, Fancy. 3 years, every 13th of the month. A fixed wire transfer of $80,000. The recipient is still Fancy.
Baby, waiting for you and our child.
So this is the secret. I played the devoted wife for 10 years, and he's been keeping a mistress for 3. A villa, monthly payments, a child, every single thing. Claire, are you free right now?
I'm free. Just finished a trial. Go ahead.
I need you to look someone up for me. Fancy. I need to know all the dealings between Hunter Voss and her over these past 3 years.
Why aren't you asleep yet?
Waiting for you.
If I'm coming home late from now on, you go to bed first.
This cologne scent. I used to think he picked it up from meeting female clients. Now it seems the big client he meets every week without fail is Fancy.
Next question, Mr. Hunter Voss. We hear that Voss Real Estate has acquired another prime location, and the market value is about to break through $8 billion.
This is just basic Voss standard operating procedure. I believe that under my leadership, Voss will soon become
$8 billion, 10 years ago. When he started his business, I took out all my savings, $3 million, and gave it to him as startup capital. Back then he said,
Elena, I know this is all your savings. Rest assured, for the rest of my life, I will treat you well. I will never, ever let you down.
In the early days of the business, I stayed up late to help him write the company's articles of intubation. I used my connections to bring in his first major client. I proofread every single bid document with him until 3 in the morning. until I helped him take the company public. Then he said,
Elena, you're my wife. What's mine is yours. As for shareholders, what difference does it make whether your name is on them or not?
Hunter Voss, I trusted you with all my heart for 10 whole years. And this is how you repay me?
My mom's 60th birthday is next week. Get it ready.
Okay.
Don't make it cheap like last time. Find a decent hotel, and you figure out the menu.
Got it.
Oh, by the way, I'm going on a business trip for 3 days. Don't wait up for me at night.
Okay. Have a safe trip.
Elena, I found it.
Fancy Ice, 26 years old, former employee at Voss Real Estate's ad department, left 3 years ago. Currently lives at 18 Sandrin Road. No steady job. She owns a Porsche Cayenne and a villa, both purchased within the last 6 months. The source of funds, Hunter Voss's personal account. And also, she's currently 8 months pregnant.
8 months. For a decade, Hunter and I were unlucky. He blamed his biology, called IVF a nuisance, and insisted we just wait for a miracle. I didn't realize his miracle was already growing in someone else's womb. He didn't want to fight nature with me. He just wanted to find a different garden to plant his seeds in.
Elena, don't act impulsively.
I'm not acting impulsively. I want a divorce.
You're going to confront Hunter?
No. I'm not tipping him off yet. I need you to do something for me.
Tell me.
I need you to look into the entire equity structure of Voss Group for me, including nominee agreements, offshore company structures, hidden accounts. I want to know exactly how much of our assets he's transferred.
You're serious about this?
Of course I am. I've been his nanny for 10 years. Now I'm collecting my salary. While I was waiting for the investigation results, I happened to run into Hunter, who was supposedly on a business trip. He was out there all lovey-dooey with Fancy She, but I don't care about any of that. The only thing I care about is that result. The one that will make Hunter Voss regret this for the rest of his life.
Your husband, he's really something. On paper, he holds 61% of Voss Real Estate. But through 2 offshore companies in the Cayman Islands, he actually controls 78%. The legal representative is his brother, Lucas.
Offshore companies. What else?
Over the past 3 years, he's been transferring money through fake projects. $100 million in total went into his hidden personal accounts. That money is spread across 6 cards, 2 of which are under Fancy She's name.
What about the properties?
Aside from the villa you two live in, he has 3 more properties under his name. All of them were mortgaged last year, and the money he got from them, no trace of where it went. Also, under Fancy She's name, besides that villa, there are 2 commercial units worth over $30 million each.
10 years of marriage, and he's quietly transferred at least $200 million in assets. And all I have under my name is the right to live in this villa, not even the ownership. Really impressive.
Here's something even more impressive. Last month, behind your back, he had a lawyer draft this divorce agreement.
Irreconcilable differences, mutual consent to divorce. And you get nothing. A one-time compensation of $2 million from the husband to the wife. $2 million? I personally injected $3 million in seed money just to buy him a seat at the table.
He's moved all the chess pieces, Elena. You're being phased out. He's just waiting for the right window to install Fancy C in your house.
When is her delivery date?
The 15th of next month. What are you planning to do?
Isn't he throwing Marguerite a 60th birthday party? Then I'll throw him a party he'll never forget.
What's the occasion today? Why so extravagant?
No occasion, just missed you.
I need to take this. Baby, what's up? Wait for me.
Who was that?
A client.
Marguerite's birthday party. I booked the Walter Fastoria's grand ballroom. Are the arrangements to your satisfaction?
It's acceptable. Once you've drafted the menu, send it to me for review.
Okay.
Oh, and I just got back from my business trip, but there's still work at the office. I need to go in for some overtime, so I can't keep you company.
Go ahead. Go keep your precious one company, because after that birthday party, their good days are over. 10 years ago when I married Hunter Vass, I was 25. Everyone thought I had lost my mind.
Elena, are you out of your mind? The Hale family may not be top-tier aristocracy, but in the national building materials industry, you're a name that counts. How could you marry a poor nobody like Hunter?
Elena, marriage is about matching social standing. You're refusing to inherit the family business, and instead you want to marry that poor boy. I won't allow it. If you marry him, you're no longer my granddaughter.
I even turned down my grandfather's inheritance, and I didn't hesitate to break with him over it. I was determined to follow Hunter any matter what, all because of one thing he said.
Elena, I love you. I will give you the whole world.
He does have the whole world now. It's just that there's no room for me in his world anymore.
Elena, there's a seat for you on the Hale Building Materials Board. Come back whenever you want. Grandfather will be waiting for you.
Grandfather, it's me. Grandfather, I want to go home.
Okay. Grandfather is waiting for you.
You're here. Of the 78% shares in Voss Real Estate, 15% has already been prepared for transfer. The recipient is Fancy She.
When?
The effective date of the agreement is the 20th of next month, which is 5 days after Fancy She's due date.
He's waiting for Fancy She to have the baby before he makes his move.
Exactly. By then he'll have the child, the equity transfer to Fancy She, and then he'll pull out the divorce agreement, $2 million to get rid of you.
His plan really is perfect. Mother.
Elena, there are only 3 days left until my birthday party.
How are the arrangements coming along?
It's all arranged, Mother.
I have a few old friends coming. Make sure they're seated at the head table.
And Hunter said he's bringing an important friend, so seat them at the head table as well.
What kind of friend?
Just arrange it like I told you. Why do you have to ask so many questions?
An important friend.
Are you sure you want to confront them on that day?
Yes.
Good. Then I'll bring all the documents with me.
Make sure you bring that divorce agreement.
Don't worry. I told you a long time ago, marrying Hunter Voss was a waste of your time.
Now, all of this is over.
May I ask who you're looking for?
I'm looking for Mr. William Hale.
And you are?
I'm his granddaughter.
Mule, there's a woman at the front desk claiming to be Mr. William Hale's granddaughter.
Mr. Hale, please slow down! Elena!
Grandfather.
You left your grandfather alone at the company for 10 years, and you finally come back. Come, your grandfather will take you to see your office. Let's see what your grandfather's prepared for you.
You've gotten thin.
Grandfather, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have broken with you over what I thought was love back then.
Who doesn't act impulsively a few times in their life? As long as you're happy, your grandfather is happy for you. If you're not doing well, then your grandfather is your backup.
Don't cry, don't cry.
Grandfather's heart aches for you. Come on, take a look at the office your grandfather prepared for you. What do you think?
Grandfather, I want to start as president first.
You're going to be chairman. You can handle it. Your grandfather believes in you.
Mr. Hale, the materials you requested.
Good. You may go.
In here is the 34% stake in Hale Group that your parents left you, plus my 41%. Hale Group is yours from now on. Get up to speed as soon as possible. It's time for your grandfather to step down and rest.
Grandfather, there's one more thing I need to ask you for help with.
Whatever it is, just tell me. Grandfather will help you with anything.
Don't announce my return yet,
Why?
because I still have a tough battle to fight.
Is it that bastard Hunter Voss? All these years you weren't at Hale Group, but we've been quietly looking after his business.
Grandfather, getting angry over someone like him isn't worth it.
Do you want your grandfather to help you?
No. This battle, I have to fight it myself.
Good. My granddaughter's battle. She won't lose. Why are you dressed up like this today?
It's Margarite's birthday party. As Mrs. Voss, of course I need to look beautiful.
Let's go. Don't be late.
Let's go.
Yes, I'll pick you up right away. I'll drop you off at the hotel first. You handle the party setup. I'll go pick someone up.
Is that the important friend your mother mentioned? What's her name?
Fancy she. Don't overthink it. She's just the sister of a business partner. Helped me out a few times, and my mother likes her.
No wonder he's a man who could hide things for 3 years. He lies without even blinking.
Well, in that case, I'll make sure to give her a warm reception.
I booked a suite on the 18th floor. All the materials are there.
Good. And one more thing. I found out that Hunter's equity transfer agreement has to be signed by 3 o'clock this afternoon. So right after the party ends, he's going to take Fancy She to the law firm.
That urgent?
Fancy C's due date got moved up. The doctor says she could give birth this week, so he needs to get the equity settled before the baby comes.
I'm afraid he won't have the chance for the rest of his life.
So, not bad, right?
Marguerite, this birthday party is really quite grand.
Hosting a party at the Waldorf Astoria, it's truly out of the ordinary.
My son arranged everything himself. I heard it cost several $100,000. Oh, so today you actually know how to dress up properly.
Today is your birthday. All of this is only right and proper. Wow, Elena, you look really beautiful today. What brand is that dress? Oscar de la Rindo.
Such a big brand. It must have been very expensive, right?
It's all Hunter's money anyway. She doesn't earn anything herself, only knows how to spend. And she can't even be bothered to give him an heir. I don't know what my son ever saw in her in the first place.
Oh, dressed so beautifully today. Anyone who didn't know would think it's your birthday today. Linda, you're too kind.
Not at all. I was just saying.
Marguerite, happy birthday.
Lucas, long time no see.
On paper, he holds 61% of the shares. But through 2 offshore companies in the Cayman Islands, he actually controls 78%. The legal representative is his brother, Lucas.
Laugh all you want. Once everyone's here, it'll be time for us to settle the score.
Elena, how are you even acting as Mrs. Voss? Why isn't Hunter here yet?
He went to pick up a friend. He'll be here soon.
What friend is so important that he has to go pick her up himself?
Fancy.
Oh, so it's Fancy. Of course, of course. No rush. Let's wait a little longer. Everyone, please make yourselves comfortable.
Darling, there's going to be quite a show later.
You should keep quiet.
What difference does it make whether I say it or not?
Fancy, you're here. You're pregnant. Walk slowly.
Happy birthday, Marguerite. I specially picked out this Cartier bracelet for you. I hope you like it.
I love it very much. The baby in your belly is the best birthday gift you could give me.
Mom, what are you saying?
What am I saying? I've always been hoping to have a little grandchild to keep me company. What, just because she can't have children, she can't stand to see others having children? Fancy, you sit right next to me today. Take it slow. Let me help you. Slow down, slow down.
Who is this woman?
Look at her belly and look at Marguerite's attitude. Isn't it obvious?
No way. This is gonna be good.
Not yet. Let them enjoy their moment a little longer.
Dear family and friends, thank you all so much for coming to my mother's 60th birthday celebration. All these years, how I, Hunter Voss, got to where I am today. First of all, I want to thank my mother. She worked so hard to raise me and taught me the principles of being a good person. Next, I want to thank my family. It's your support that has brought me to where I am today.
Fancy, come on. Cut the cake with me.
Look at this. The Voss family is openly parading the mistress today.
That's just too much to take, isn't it? She can actually tolerate this?
She's only getting attention because she's carrying the heir. What can you do? She never managed to have a child of their own. This is so humiliating. I feel embarrassed for her. If it were me, I would have flipped out long ago.
You should keep quiet.
What a well-calculated scheme. First, have Fancy She make an appearance at the birthday party and establish her status. Then after the baby is born and the equity transfer is done, pull out the divorce agreement to get rid of me.
Elena, today, don't take it too much to heart. Hunter, he's also...
Lucas,
Elena, go ahead.
I heard that you've been illegally holding 17% of Hunter Voss's shares on his behalf through 2 offshore companies. Tell me, what do you think would happen if the IRS found out?
Elena, I don't know what you're talking about.
K-Haven Paradings and Voss International. I have both registration numbers. Do you want me to keep going?
Elena, you...
Sit tight and watch the show for now. I'll deal with you later.
Elena, what are you doing coming up here? Get the hell back down. Don't be an eyesore here. Go on, go!
You go back first. Today is Mum's birthday. Don't make her angry. I'll explain everything to you when we get home.
Home? Which home? Ours or yours and Fancy She's? Fancy She, congratulations. From now on, you don't have to sneak around anymore. You can stay by Hunter Voss' side out in the open. Honey, who is she?
Oh, so you don't know me? Then let me introduce myself. I am Hunter Voss's wife, soon to be his ex-wife.
Sister.
Don't you call me sister. I'm afraid it'll dirty my ears.
Elena, stop making a scene. Miss She is a guest.
A guest. At a time like this, you're still treating me like an idiot? Fancy C, former employee of Voss Group, lives at Lakeside 1, Building 4, Unit 3, drives a white Porsche Cayenne license plate starting with A88. Do you want me to keep going?
You've been investigating me?
No secret can stay hidden forever. What's the matter? Getting nervous?
Elena, today is my birthday party. What kind of madness is this? Get the hell out of here!
10 years. I've never been as clear-headed as I am right now. Marguerite, all the accounts from before, today we're going to settle them properly. She finally couldn't hold it in anymore.
Serves Marguerite right for bragging to us every single day.
Exactly.
There's going to be a good show today.
If you ask me, getting pregnant without being married and then swaggering into a party like this, that's pretty shameless too.
All of you, shut up! Shisi, don't be afraid. As long as I'm here, no one dares to bully you. You are a Voss family member, and the baby in your welt is the Voss family heir. Elena, you can't have children yourself, so what's wrong with my son finding someone else to have them with? If you've got the ability, go have one yourself.
Mom, a lot of things aren't ready yet. This isn't the time to pick a fight. Elena, pay no mind of Mom's outburst. She's just venting. There's absolutely nothing between Miss Fancy and me beyond a casual acquaintance. Go on ahead. I'll clarify everything once I'm back at the house.
That's right.
Stop falsely accusing my son here. My son is not that kind of person.
Falsely accusing?
Falsely accusing? This is Fancy C's prenatal checkup report from 3 months ago. In the father column, it clearly says Hunter Voss. Is this also a false accusation?
Her boyfriend wasn't at home that day. There was no one to sign the checkup papers. I just signed on his behalf. Do you really have to make such a big deal out of this?
Signed on his behalf? This is a photo of Hunter Voss and Fancy She together. And on the back of it, there's a line written, "Baby, waiting for you and our child." You wrote this with your own hand. So, did you also take this photo for her boyfriend? Did you write these words for her boyfriend too? The Voss family has gone way too far.
And he's still trying to talk his way out of it.
This is just absolutely outrageous.
This is the 3,800 square foot villa at Lakeside 1, and these are the commercial units. These are the bank statements showing Hunter Voss fixed monthly transfers of $80,000 to Fancy C for the past month. So, did you also pay these for her boyfriend? He gave the mistress all of this?
If there's no money, why would a young girl have his baby?
Sister, feelings can't be forced. Hunter Voss told me that you two have long had no feelings for each other. Besides, I'm already carrying his child. That is an unchangeable fact. If you keep making a scene, it's not good for anyone.
You shut up!
At this point, you still think she's gonna let you off easy?
I told you to shut up!
Elena, this matter is complicated. Let's stop here for today. When we get home, I'll sit down and explain everything to you properly.
Explain? Are you going to explain after you finish transferring all the equity and then you pull out an agreement that leaves me with nothing after the divorce? Then you'll explain. You've always complained that I can't have children, haven't you? Well then, congratulations today. Fancy She here is 8 months pregnant. In another 2 months, you'll be able to hold your grandchild in your arms.
So what if she is? You married into the Voss family for 10 years and couldn't leave him an heir. You're just a wife who can't bear children. My son built his own career through his own hard work. He finds someone who can have children with him. What's wrong with that?
The reason I couldn't have children, it's not my problem. It's his. Hunter Voss's problem.
Elena, shut your mouth!
What's the matter? Getting anxious now? Back then, your mother went around telling everyone I couldn't have children. Why didn't you tell her to shut her mouth back then? Everybody, take a look. This is from 8 years ago. The doctor said that Hunter Voss wasn't active enough and needed treatment. He told me to wait, to just let nature take its course. I waited, and I waited 8 whole years for that. Now that he's better, he turns around and has a child with someone else. But you know what? I'm actually grateful I never had his child because Hunter Voss doesn't deserve to be a father.
Elena, that's enough!
No, it's not enough. You, Hunter Voss, you wronged me for 10 years. You betrayed me, and you deserve to pay the price for that betrayal.
Elena, after all, you and Hunter Voss were husband and wife. Can't you say whatever you need to say in private? Why do you have to be so aggressive here?
Stop talking. We're not clean ourselves either. We can't help them anymore. Today, Elena is going all out to fight to the death. She knows everything about us.
Elena, making such a scene today? Are you trying to destroy me?
You brought this on yourself. What does it have to do with me?
Elena, you disaster! I always knew you were an ill-bred thing!
Don't throw a tantrum here. Is your son so well-bred then? He kept a mistress for 3 years. He transferred $200 million in funds, and he wanted to send me away with a $2 million agreement.
Did you not know about all of this? You just thought this was the right way to do things? Now that your son has made something of himself, he should find a younger mistress who can bear children. Is that what you call being well-bred?
Elena, how dare you talk to me like this? Do you still consider me your mother?
No.
Elena, what exactly do you want?
This is the divorce agreement my lawyer prepared for me. My demands are very simple. Marital assets are to be divided according to the law. All of the $200 million in transferred funds marriage must be recovered, and the shares of Voss Group will be recalculated based on contribution ratios.
I don't agree. All of this is mine. It's my son's. No one can touch any of it.
Elena, don't be dreaming. Voss was built by me with my own hands. What does it have to do with you?
Built by you with your own hands? Hunter Voss, have you forgotten who gave you the $3 million in startup capital back then? Who wrote the company's articles of incorporation for you during the early days? Who proofread every project bid for you? And even the company's very first major client, who connected you to them? Without me, you wouldn't even have had your first pot of gold. Mr. Hunter Voss, is it true that your startup capital was actually provided by Miss Elena?
So Hunter Voss built his business off his wife's money, huh?
This is classic. Once he's got his footing, he kicks aside the people who lifted him up. Really trash.
If you don't agree, then we'll take it to court. I can speak on behalf of Hunter Voss. I'll have him give you a little more, enough to keep you well-fed and well-clothed for the rest of your life. Take it if you know it's good for you. And if I don't?
You! Shishi!
What's wrong with you?
I think I'm about to give birth. The baby can't have anything happen to it.
What are you just standing there for? Call an ambulance right now. If anything happens to my son, I'll make your life
What
hell.
does that have to do with me? But it looks like things can't be settled today. The rest? We'll take our time settling it another day. Everyone, I apologize for interrupting your meal. Please continue. Today is your 60th birthday, so I'll toast you. May you live to 100 surrounded by children and grandchildren, but every single one of them an ungrateful rest. Claire, let's go.
You're doing this on purpose to make me die of anger!
Hunter Voss, don't rush. Our show is just getting started.
That was beautifully done. Today you had your full presence on Ruthless and Precise. The old Elena is back. No, you're even more formidable than before.
It's not about being ruthless. It's about a 10-year dream finally waking up today.
Well said. Oh, by the way, tomorrow morning we file the divorce petition with the court. Hunter Voss is definitely going to send someone to try to mediate.
Mediation? That depends on what he brings to the table to negotiate with.
Good. Today I'm celebrating your rebirth.
Elena, wait!
If you have anything to say, take it up with my lawyer.
No, Elena, about those 2 offshore companies you mentioned, Lucas was just a name on paper. He doesn't know anything.
That's right, Elena. I really don't know anything. Hunter Voss told me to do all of it.
Whether you know or not, that's for the IRS to determine.
Don't drag Lucas into this too, okay?
Linda, after all these years, is the first time you've spoken to me so politely without any thorns in your words. Elena, I was wrong before. Please forgive Lucas just this once, okay?
Elena, I shouldn't have helped Hunter Voss hide those things from you. Please give me one chance. I promise I won't do it again.
I'm not your family anymore.
Elena, I'm begging you!
Fine. I can agree not to expose this matter.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you.
But I have one condition.
Go ahead.
First, you should have all of Hunter Voss's offshore company documents, including the passwords. I need complete copies of everything and all the passwords.
Don't hesitate. Elena's giving you a chance and you're still thinking about it? Do you want to go down with Hunter Voss?
Fine. I'll send you all the passwords right away. The documents will be delivered to you shortly after. Honey, are we really going to betray Hunter Voss?
How Hunter Voss's company really got started, others may not know, but don't you? If he could abandon his wife who stayed with him for 10 years, then what are we in his eyes?
Cheers. We agreed. You have to come back to Hale Group and help me.
You're my sugar mama now. I've got to stick close to you.
Then from now on, the position of general counsel is yours.
No need. Deputy General Counsel is enough. Elena, in just a few hours, the videos from the family party have gone viral everywhere. Hunter Voss is completely ruined this time. Come on. Did you arrange this?
Did I need to arrange it? With so many witnesses, especially all those wives, they were all mesters for me. Elena, that woman fancy she is not simple.
She's way too calm, standing there docile as a little kitten. She's not someone to be trifled with.
Good. Otherwise, it would be too boring. Where's my son?
The baby is doing just fine. Mother is watching him.
Didn't you tell me she wouldn't find out anything? Now she knows everything! What do we do?
That bitch Elena! She spread everything from the birthday party all over. She's trying to destroy me!
I don't care what happens to her, but the money and the company, all of it must go to my son.
Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Mr. Hunter Voss.
Why are you here? You rest well for now. I need to step out for a moment.
Mr. Hunter Voss, Mrs. Voss has already filed the divorce petition with the court.
She actually dared to do that? You think I'm afraid of her? The evidence this time is very unfavorable to you. Infidelity during marriage, asset transfers, and tax issues. The facts are quite solid, and I've heard they have some other evidence as well. So what do we do now? I would advise you to settle. If this blows up further, it won't be good for you.
Grandfather?
Bring over the honey water I had prepared for Elena. Let her sober up a bit.
Was it Claire who brought me back last night? I drank way too much. My head hurts so much. I blacked out completely. I don't remember
Good to let it all out once in a while. Better than bottling it up and hurting yourself.
Miss Hal, please drink this. Mr. Hal had me prepare it in advance. The temperature is just right.
Thank you.
Miss Hal, if you'll take my advice, don't drink that much again in the future. You have no idea. Last night when you came back, first you knelt in front of Mr. Hal crying, and then you held on to him and cried for so long, you almost cried yourself unconscious.
Are you saying that what I did last night, it's true?
From the time you were little until now, I've never seen you cry like that. You also said you were sorry to Mr. Hall, that from now on you'd take good care of him, and you insisted that he coax you to sleep. Okay, I won't say any more. I'll go get breakfast. Today's breakfast is all Miss Hale's favorites.
How embarrassing!
What's so embarrassing about acting cute with your own grandfather? Go wash up. Once you're done, come have breakfast with grandfather.
Okay.
Eat a little more. Look how thin you've gotten.
Grandfather, I plan to go to the office with you today.
Why not rest a few more days?
No, I want to get familiar with everything as soon as possible. Grandfather won't have to be tired anymore.
Good. My little Elena knows how to care about her grandfather now. Eat a little more.
What is it?
Elena, let's talk.
Fine. I'm going back anyway. I need to pick up some things. Grandfather?
Go ahead. I'll be waiting for you at the office.
It's just a shame. There's no turning back in this world. But at least, I don't dwell on the past. These things should disappear too.
Elena, what are you doing?
Are you heartless and blind at the same time? Then watch closely.
Elena, how come I never noticed before that you're such a heartless person?
If I weren't heartless, wouldn't I have ended up with nothing at your hands? Didn't you say you wanted to talk to me?
How much do you want?
What do you mean, how much?
You made such a scene. Isn't it all for money? Go ahead, how much will it take for you to drop the lawsuit? 10 million?
Not enough.
20 million. That should be enough, right?
Not enough.
Elena, don't go too far. How much more do you want? Aren't you afraid of choking on it?
My appetite has always been very good. Especially now it's even better.
30 million. This is my final bottom line. Elena, you need to understand something. You're a housewife. No job, no income. Where are you going to fight this kind of lawsuit? Can you even afford the legal fees?
Have you forgotten what my best friend does for a living?
What big talk. You think that little lawyer can back you up? Let me tell you, Voss Group has a seasoned legal team. What does a small-time lawyer like her have to fight against my team? What does a small-time lawyer like her have to fight against my legal team?
Your team? Hunter Voss, your legal team's lead counsel, Pierce, he took on 3 cases last year and he lost every single one of them to my best friend, Claire. If you don't believe me, go ask him yourself.
Mr. Hunter Voss, the evidence in this lawsuit from Mrs. Voss is very substantial, especially her best friend, Claire Bennett. She's not someone to be underestimated.
What exactly do you want?
I just want what the law says I'm entitled to. Not 1 cent less.
The law says you're entitled to? You don't have anything in your name. No shares in the company, no property in your name. What do you think you can possibly get? Elena, I'm sitting here talking to you right now. That's me being respectful. Don't be ungrateful.
I really don't want your respect. But as for how much the law says I'm entitled to, you don't need to worry about that.
You! So this is all you wanted to talk about? Then we're done. I'm leaving. Elena, you've been with me for 10 years. Surely there's some affection between us, right? Right? What good does it do you to make such a scene?
Affection? Hunter Voss. You took my $3 million in startup capital, used my connections, brought in your clients. You wore the suits I picked out for you to go negotiate your deals, back when you were nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was the one who stayed with you from zero. And now you want to talk to me about Villa at Lakeside 1? Your affection is in those $80,000 monthly transfers. Your affection is in Fancy C's 8-month pregnant belly. And the affection you left for me is only that $2 million That divorce agreement that leaves me with absolutely nothing.
No, that agreement, I clearly hadn't
Shown it to me yet. That's right. You were waiting for Fancy She to have the baby, waiting to finish the equity transfer, and then you'd come to me to settle things. Too bad for you. That wonderful butler of yours opened his mouth before you did.
It was Arthur. He betrayed me.
You should count yourself lucky. He kept your secrets for all those years. He only dared to tell me when he retired.
Even so, he shouldn't have betrayed me.
Betrayed you? How much did you pay him a month? $5,000 a month. I gave him an extra $20,000 a month just to make sure he drove you with full devotion. Every holiday, I gave him bonuses. I paid for his daughter's schooling. I covered his wife's hospital stays. And you just complained that I was wasting money.
Elena, you really are deep, so calculating. So from that early on, the people around
Fine, then treat it as if I bought them off. But you, Hunter Voss, even when it comes to buying people's loyalty, you can't measure up to me. Getting angry just proves how incompetent you are. I really was blind back then.
Elena, 30 million. 30 million plus this villa. That should be enough, shouldn't it? Elena, you're going to regret this!
The one who'll regret this won't be me.
A housewife with nothing to her name. How dare she...
Elena, you're here.
Hand over the things.
This is all the materials about those 2 offshore companies from Lucas Computer. Passwords, accounts, transfer records, nominee agreements, original scanned copies, everything is in here.
That's it. You two can go back now.
Elena, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have treated you that way before. You're just opportunistic. Your apology means nothing to me. That's it. I have things to deal with at the office. Grandfather, what are you doing?
Everyone, take a good look. This is my own granddaughter, the future leader of Hale Group, Elena Hale.
Welcome home, Miss Hale.
Grandfather, you...
From now on, all of this is yours. You deserve this treatment. Grandfather will take you to complete your official onboarding. Come on.
Miss Elena, these are the materials on the major client partnerships our company has cultivated over the years. Please review them.
Supplies to other clients are proceeding normally, but Voss Real Estate's payment terms have been overdue since last year. The longest is 4 months late. This does not meet Hale Group's credit standards.
But Voss has always been one of our regular customers, and Mr. Hunter Voss has kept saying—
What Hunter Vash says doesn't matter. I'm now requiring that we act according to the contract. Suspend supplies to any account exceeding a 60-day payment period. Any objections?
Mr. Hale, what do you think?
Do everything according to what my granddaughter says. Her word is my word.
I understand Voss's internal issues better than any of you. Let me be clear, Hunter Voss betrayed me and wasted 10 years of my life. This is my response to him. All of my actions fall within the rules. Does anyone have any further objections?
We fully support Miss Hale.
You come in swinging with a big move right away. Your first strike hits Voss, so satisfying.
I won't start anything with anyone, but no one better try anything with me either. He owes me this. Then let me hand you your second strike so you can completely get all of this off your chest.
The asset documents Hunter Voss submitted have all been organized. His real total assets. It's not the publicly reported $8 billion. It's approximately $1.2 billion of personally disposable assets. Over $200 million is under Fancy She's name, and the rest sits in Voss Real Estate's accounts.
Based on all the evidence we have, if the court rules, how much can I get?
According to state marital property law, marital assets are split evenly. Because he's the at-fault party and he transferred assets first, the court will likely award you more. Conservatively, at least 400 to 500 million.
What if we recover all of the transferred assets?
If we add in the recovered portion, you'd be looking at least 600 million.
600 million. I gave him 3 million as startup capital. At this rate of return,
I guess I didn't lose out. But this is far from enough.
What are you gonna do?
Voss Real Estate.
You want his company?
Not want, take it back.
Elena, getting a settlement of a few $100 million is already very good. His company—
Half of that company was my doing. Without me paving the way for him, he never would have made it to where he is today. Claire, I'm going to strip him of everything. Send him back to where he was 10 years ago. That's the price he has to pay.
Look at that. So adorable.
It's been 3 days already. Why hasn't Elena responded yet?
She's dead set on taking this lawsuit all the way.
That bitch. You've already offered her such generous terms and she still won't be satisfied. Isn't afraid of choking on it. Here, let me hold the baby.
Once she calms down a bit, I'll try talking to her again.
Hunter Voss, I don't care about anything else. That 30 million you mentioned, that's my bottom line. Not 1 cent more. So what if she takes us to court? She's all alone with no one to rely on. Surely your company's legal team isn't afraid of her?
Her lawyer, Claire Bennett, is not to be underestimated. Legal gave an assessment. Now is not the time for a head-on confrontation.
Then you and your legal team are a bunch of useless idiots.
Fancy she. You weren't like this before.
I've always been like this. I want to move up in class. I don't want to live that kind of life anymore, always worrying about money every single day. So I made some changes to make you happy.
So, your gentlest before was all an act? Now that you've had my child, you don't have to pretend anymore?
I said I love you, I wasn't lying. But I also love your money and your status. Those two things don't conflict. Having regrets?
Maybe I'm just not used to it yet.
Too bad if you have regrets. Even if we don't get the legal marriage certificate, you can't abandon this child. From now on, your property belonged to my son. The law says so. You can't get out of it.
I don't care about any of that. This grandson, I have to have him. He's the bloodline of our Voss family.
Oh, and I did some investigating on my own. Your low sperm count never actually got better. The chances of you get anyone pregnant again are practically 0.
You've cut off every single one of my options. Fancy she, you've really opened my eyes.
If you're having regrets, we don't have to get the legal marriage certificate. But after that, you'll never see this child again.
That won't do. This is my grandson. Son, don't be foolish. Fancy just wants some security. Give it to her.
Fine. Once it's you discharged from the hospital, we'll officially go through the legal marriage procedures. Are you satisfied now?
Transfer 40% of the company's shares to my name. Then I'll go through the legal marriage procedures with you. I won't interfere with anything at the company. You'll still be the one in charge. But I have to have the shares. That's the security for me and my son.
What's mine is my son's anyway, isn't it?
That's different. You have a history of cheating and divorce. When the child grows up, you could divorce me and fight for custody. I have no income. I couldn't win that lawsuit. In the end, I'd get nothing.
Have you been calculating all of this from the very beginning?
You were willing to abandon Elena for me. Someday you'll be willing to abandon me for another woman. I'm not as stupid as she was, love-struck and naive. What I want is long-term security, and that's equity. This child is my biggest bargaining chip, especially since my son will be the only offspring you'll ever have. Think it over carefully.
You've cut off every single one of my escape roads. Do I even have a choice? Fancy, I really underestimated you.
Hunter Voss, all of this was your own choice. There's no medicine for regret. From now on, I'll take good care of your mother, and I'll take good care of the child. You can rest assured about that.
Fine. You get some rest now. I have a meeting at the office.
I want to see the share transfer report within 3 days, otherwise I won't feel secure.
I understand.
Can't you just let me have a moment of peace?
Hale Building Materials sent us a notice.
What kind of notice?
They said our company has repeatedly violated the contractual payment terms. Effective immediately, they are suspending all building material supplies for all of our ongoing projects until the outstanding balances are paid in full.
What did you say? The building material supply has been cut off?
Mr. Hunter Voss, you need to think of something quickly.
We have 3 projects currently under construction, and the biggest one, the 157 condominiums, has already pre-sold 70%.
If building material supply is cut off, that means construction delays. If we can't deliver in 2 months, the penalty fees alone, conservatively estimated at $80 million at minimum.
And that's not even counting the impact on the other 2 projects.
We've always had a good working relationship with Hale.
Even when our payments were late, they've always prioritized supplying us with materials. Why would they suddenly cut us off now? I asked around, they said what? They said that in the past, their support for our Voss company was out of respect for Mr. Hale. And now Mr. Hale has instructed them to follow the contract strictly. So,
Mr. Hale? As far as I remember, the only Hale at Hale Group is old Mr. William Hale.
what other Hales are there among the senior management? It's your wife, Elena Hale. What? It's her?
This is Jason from Hale Building Materials. He can provide us with a steady supply from now on.
I remember now. Getting connected to Hale was indeed her doing. But all she did was make the introduction. I've been the one maintaining all the business relationships for these past 10 years. She's just a housewife. How could she possibly have this much influence?
Mr. Hunter Voss?
Elena, what exactly have you done?
I haven't done anything. Your payment terms were indeed overdue. I just had Hale cut off your building materials supply.
This is retaliation. You won't get away with this.
Then we'll just wait and see.
What exactly is your relationship with Hale Group? Why is it that a business relationship I maintained for 10 years, you can just cut it off with one word?
Because I am William Hale's grandfather. Hale Group is my grandfather's company.
You're the granddaughter who abandoned everything for a man?
Congratulations, you got it right. You're that man. You married me for 10 years and you didn't even know this. How absurd is that?
Elena, why didn't you tell me sooner?
I broke with my grandfather back then just to be with you. And in the end, I almost got thrown out on the street by you. Thinking about it now, how absurd.
Elena, if you had told me sooner, none of this would have happened today. This is all your fault!
Lashing out in anger? Having regrets now? Too bad it's too late.
Regrets. I have no regrets! I don't believe that without you, my company will collapse. I'm gonna make you see with your own eyes. Without Hale Group, without you, I can still thrive. Even better than before!
Guess what? Do you think he's so angry right now that he's trashed his whole office?
All these years, did he never have even the slightest suspicion about your family background?
I was afraid it would put pressure on him back then, so I told him my family just ran a small business.
A small business? A small business with annual revenue of $9.3 billion?
All right, enough about that. You handle the lawsuit. I trust you completely. I've got meetings with other building materials suppliers. I'll head out first.
You're really going to finish him off. Leave him no way out.
He deserves it.
I invited all of you here today. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm sure everyone has heard about what happened between Hunter Voss and me.
Hunter Voss. I thought he was a rising star in the business world. Turns out he's just another blind fool.
Miss Elena, are you inviting us here today to ask us to cut off all of Voss' supply sources?
No. You've misunderstood. We're all business people here. What we care about is profit. I would never let personal grudges cause losses to any of you. But I do have one suggestion. Switch to a prepayment system for all dealings with Voss.
Prepayment? That's...
Voss has owned Hale's payment for 4 months already. We're already in the process of collecting it, and I know the internal situation at Voss better than any of you.
I understand.
Come on, all of you are veterans in the building materials industry. Let me toast to all of you.
Mr. William Hale's style is as impressive as ever. And now, Miss Elena, you're even more accomplished at such a young age. I toast to you.
To Miss Elena, looking forward to more cooperation in the future.
What did you say? Prepayment? Our cash flow is already tight. If we have to prepay everything, the company won't survive. You should be well aware of that. Mr. Hunter Voss, I tried, but those suppliers were adamant. There was absolutely no room for negotiation. Even when I offered to raise the price by 10%, still no. Why did this suddenly happen? I heard that a few days ago, Mrs. Elena had dinner with some of the big names in New York's building materials industry.
Elena, you again. You're really trying to drive me into a corner.
Mr. Hunter Voss, maybe you could try talking to Miss Elena? After all, you two were married once.
Get out! Get the hell out of here right now!
How did it go? What did Mr. Hunter Voss say?
He won't bow his head to Miss Elena, if you ask me at this rate. The two of us should start looking for other options while we still can.
Tell me, which company would risk offending Hale Group just to keep Voss happy? Is he stupid? Married to her for 10 years, and never once realized she was the heiress of Hale Group.
Exactly. He just didn't have that kind of luck.
I heard that back then, Miss Elena broke with her entire family and ran away from home just to be with him.
And what does he do? Once he made it big, he dumped her. Then he went and got himself a mistress, transferred assets. Does he even know what he's doing?
Isn't this just a textbook case of a modern-day scumbag?
Exactly. If you ask me, this is karma. If he had stayed true to Miss Elena from the start, not only would Voss Group be thriving, maybe even the entire Hale Group would have been his.
Right. Someone like him gets to be the company president, honestly. Even if it kills me, I will never bow my head to Elena Hall. Jason!
Hunter Voss, you still have the nerve to come looking for me?
Jason, we've known each other for 10 years. You can't do this to me.
10 years of friendship means nothing. You had 10 years of marriage with our Miss Hale, and look what you did. You threw her away without a second thought. And now you come to me talking about friendship? Do you even deserve to?
Jason, feelings are feelings. Business is business. You can't mix the two. That woman, Elena, has lost her mind. She's disregarding Hale Group's own interests to get revenge. This will only hurt both sides.
Hurt both sides? You think you're on the same level as us? Even if we take a loss, we can afford it. As for you and your company, you can just wait to die.
You. Fine, Jason, then tell me. What will it take for Hale to let me go?
Are you out of your mind? You're asking me? Get lost.
Hunter Vouse, you haven't come to see the baby at the hospital for 2 days. We're being discharged today. Come pick us up.
Fine, I got it.
Jason, since he's still holding on to illusions, then help me set up a meeting with Mark Thorne at New York Bank.
Miss Hale, you need to think this through carefully. If Hunter Voss's company goes under, the ripple effects won't be small.
That's fine. I'll take over Voss entirely. I'm sure Mark Thorne will be more than happy to cooperate.
Understood.
Son, I saw on the news that Elena is the heirette of Hale Group and the sole heir. Is that true?
It's true.
What? Having regrets for your son? Regretting losing such a good safety net? That's fine. You can go find her and get back together. Go back to being her good husband. I'll take my son and leave. Make way for you two.
Shishi, don't overthink it. I was just asking.
All right, let's just go home first.
Let's head home first. I'll carry my grandson.
The 3 days are up. Where's the share transfer agreement?
The company is about to collapse and you still want shares?
What do you mean?
All you people know is that Elena went back to Hale Group. You never stopped to think she'd retaliate, did you? 40% of Voss building materials come from Hale. Now Elena is aggressively pushing for payment.
New York isn't the only building materials supplier in the world.
Under her influence, every single building materials supplier is demanding prepayment. All of the company's capital is tied up in projects. If we can't get through this, the company will go bankrupt. And you still want shares? Still want to climb the social ladder? Dream on!
Is that serious?
What did you think? While I was at the hospital, the bank called demanding payment. They want $30 million or they'll freeze our assets. And the divorce case goes to court the day after tomorrow. If we lose, we'll have to give her at least 30% of our assets.
Then what do we do? Son, why don't you go beg her? No matter what, you two were husband and wife. Besides, she used to listen to everything you said. She loved you so much. Beg her? You'd only be humiliating yourself. When a woman turns ruthless, she's fiercer than any man, especially a woman who's been hurt. Don't kid yourself. Then what do we do?
She said everything you have came from her, didn't she? Then go to her. Tell her you want to face her head on in a real fight.
If you lose, you accept the outcome. You admit everything you have came from her, and everything goes to her. If she loses, you walk away with nothing.
You're telling me to go declare war on her?
That's right. Declare war.
Don't be ridiculous. Hale Building Materials is top 3 in the country. Voss can't even compare.
You can't see the forest for the trees. Declaring war is just a stalling tactic. As long as she loosens her grip now, the 157 condominiums can be completed on schedule.
Right. As long as the 157 condominiums are completed on schedule, I can turn the other 2 projects around. From now on, I'll do one project at a time. Stop overreaching, and gradually break free from Whole Building Materials' influence.
That's right. Take it one step at a time. Her Hale Group can't control everything.
I really underestimated you before.
I know you've regretted getting involved with me, that you're dissatisfied with me. But I don't care. I don't care how many other women you have outside.
I rely on my son to stand on solid ground, especially since he's my only son, right?
Right. So even if you start another family outside and never come back here, I don't care.
Turns out you're the most heartless one of all.
Can feelings buy you food? Can they buy you money? Can they guarantee me a comfortable life for the rest of my days? Honey, you're not that naive. You know how to make nutritious meals, right? If you don't know, go learn. I need someone to prepare nutritious meals for me every day. You don't have anything else to do anyway, so you'll do it. Bring them to my room when they're ready. Forget it. For the sake of my grandson, I'll do it.
Mom, when have you ever set foot in a kitchen? Back when Elena was here, but there was not—
Why are you still bringing up the past? Right now, my grandson is the most important thing.
What's he doing here? Who knows? Probably can't hold out any longer, here to beg for mercy. Leaving his wife out in the cold, taking a mistress, he brought this on himself.
I want to see Elena.
May I ask if you have an appointment?
No, you tell her I'm not leaving until I see her.
Hello, Miss Elena. Mr. Hunter Voss is here to see you. He says he won't leave if you refuse to see him. Yes, I understand.
Please follow me.
Miss Elena, Mr. Hunter Voss is here. You may go. Have a seat.
You really are different from before.
If you have something to say, say it quickly. I'm busy.
Elena, I know I did a lot of things wrong before. But after all, we were together for so many years. Do you really have to push me to the pit of no return?
Your payment terms were indeed overdue. I'm just following the contract.
That was a cash flow issue. What real estate company doesn't delay payments these days? It's industry standard, you know that perfectly well.
Other companies I can give chances to. But you? No. If I gave you a chance, I'd feel awful for the rest of my life.
What exactly do you want?
Very simple. I'm gonna send you back to where you were 10 years ago. Leave you with nothing.
You!
Hunter Voss, have you ever thought about this? If I were just an ordinary woman, and you were worth billions, have you considered what my fate would have been? You would have thrown me out on the street and let me watch you live the good life. Too bad. I'm not that kind of woman.
Elena! Do you think a supply contract is enough to control me?
If I didn't have you under control, why are you here?
You just think that everything I have today is because of your $3 million in startup capital and your Hale Group. But let me tell you right now, it's not. Everything I have today is because of my own ability and talent.
Your ability and talent?
You dare to compete with me? Drop all your restrictions on me. Let's go head to head and see if I lose to you. Ifing I lose, we divorce immediately and everything goes to you. But if you lost, we part ways amicably. Still that $30 million plus the villa. That's more than generous.
Why would I compete with you?
You're afraid. You're afraid people will find out you're incompetent. Afraid they'll know you're just throwing your weight around because of Hale Group.
You're using a provocation tactic on me.
I'm just giving you a chance to prove yourself. So do you dare or not?
It's not about daring or not daring. It's simply unnecessary. The winner takes all. I'm not giving you that opportunity. And besides, why should I prove my abilities to you? Do you even deserve that? You're the one who cheated. You're the one who betrayed my feelings for 10 years. I'm targeting you now, plain and simple. Your 157 condominiums can hold out for at most a month. You can't afford to wait. And also, every single shareholder of Voss is going to come after you. Hunter Voss, I'm going to take over Voss Group entirely. I'm not giving you any chance to turn things around. I'm not giving you any chance to turn things around.
Elena! You cold, heartless witch!
I suppose so. If I weren't ruthless enough, how could I ever beat a scumbag like you who's been pretending for 10 years? If you don't have anything else to say, then get the hell out. My time is very valuable now.
Elena, does it really have to be like this?
Goodbye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. How stupid was I to have given him that much time to breathe?
Mom? Mom!
Oh, you're back. Son?
Why are you doing all of this? Wasn't it always...
It's nothing. It's just mopping the floor. I had nothing better to do anyway. Just think of it as exercise. It's good.
Fancy she. How dare you make my mother do this? You used to jump at the chance to do all the housework.
First of all, I just gave birth. I can't overexert myself. Second, someone has to do these chores. If you feel sorry for her, then hire a maid. Don't come yelling at me.
That's right, that's right. I insisted on doing it myself. I'd be bored just sitting around anyway, see?
Mom,
How did it go with Elena?
she wouldn't buy any of it.
This Elena, she really is something. All those years she spent as a housewife with you, what a waste.
What's the point of saying that now? The bank is demanding payment, our supplies are cut off, and the trial is coming up. What do we do now?
I've got an idea.
What's the plan?
You go, in front of everyone, kneel down and apologize to Elena. The richer you are, the more you care about face. Use moral pressure on her. I refuse to believe she won't be moved.
No, absolutely not. Are you crazy? You want my mother to go kneel and apologize?
It's just a kneel, and it could bring Voss back from the dead. Is that really so hard?
Fine. I'll go.
Marguerite! You're ruthless.
Don't play the good guy here. If you really didn't want your mother to go, you would have stopped her.
Elena, look who's here, the evil mother-in-law.
Hunter Voss just left, and now you're here. Are you two taking turns? But my decision isn't going to change.
No, Elena, don't misunderstand. I'm not here to beg you.
Then what are you here for?
Fancy C came up with the idea to have me kneel in public and use moral pressure to force you to give Hunter Voss a chance. But I don't want to do that. The only thing I came here to say today is just one thing. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What exactly are you trying to do?
I said it out loud. I feel so much better now. Elena, all these years you've been the one taking care of this family. It was me and Hunter Voss who had no conscience. We wronged you. Fancy C used to seem so cute and sweet, but who would have thought when she turns ruthless, she's colder than anyone? I guess I brought this on myself.
So she's been mistreated by her new daughter-in-law. No wonder her attitude did a complete 180 in such a short time.
I'm apologizing to you from the bottom of my heart. I brought all of this on myself. You, a pampered heiress from a wealthy family, you were willing to humble yourself to take care of me and Hunter Voss. It was me and Hunter Voss who were wrong. If you can't forgive us, I understand, and I won't force you. I was the one who did wrong. I deserves to be punished. The only reason I came today is to see you one last time. Elena, take care of yourself. I'm leaving now. Feeling soft-hearted?
Compared to Hunter Voss, her attitude is at least decent. But I'm not backing down.
Mom, you're back. How did it go?
Useless! Kneeling didn't work. Don't you know how to cry and make a scene? What happened to that attitude you had when you used to walk all over her?
Back when Elena was here, she wouldn't have dared to lay a finger on my mother!
Don't you dare bring her up in front of me! Don't forget, you were the one who schemed to get rid of her in the first place. It just fell through, and that's why you're stuck between a rock and a hard place now.
That was because you seduced me!
Don't you put that on me! If you didn't have the intention, could I have gotten into your bed?
If you could control yourself, would I have ended up carrying your son? Hunter Voss, don't act like you're so innocent. You were unfaithful to your marriage, so don't blame others for scheme against you.
You!
Go ahead, hit me! If you dare to lay a hand on me today, I'll take my son and disappear. You'll never see him again for the rest of your life. Just try it.
Son, forget it. Mom's fine, really.
Mom.
All right, stop fighting, both of you. Let me go check on my grandson.
Hunter Voosh, stop pretending to be a good son here. You're the most hypocritical one of all.
Fancy C, how did you become like this?
I've always been like this. All right, now is not the time for infighting. Since we can't reason with her, then we'll take it to court. We've already quietly transferred assets over the past few days anyway. Worst case, she gets half of whatever's left in your name.
You're quite open-minded about this.
What else can we do? This fight helps no one. She gets her satisfaction, we pay a little to buy our peace, and we all go our separate ways.
I guess that's the only option. But
That 200 million in your personal account, I need it to keep things afloat.
No! That's my safety net. No one touches it. You have 3 projects under construction, don't you? Sell 2 of them and focus everything on the condominium project. Problem solved. That way Hale Group can't hold you by the throat either.
The plaintiff, Elena Hale, versus the defendant, Hunter Joe Voss, divorce proceedings. Court is now in session. The plaintiff may state your claims.
Your Honor, my client, Miss Elena Hale, submits the following claims. First, the defendant committed adultery and has fathered an illegitimate child. We request the court to grant the divorce. Second, we request the court to divide all marital assets according to the law.
The defendant, what is your response to the plaintiff's claims? Your Honor, my client, Mr. Hunter Joe Voss, and the plaintiff, Miss Elena Hale, have indeed been estranged for many years. Therefore, my client is willing to dissolve this marriage. Furthermore, to show respect for this marriage, my client is willing to compensate the plaintiff with $30 million. In addition, the villa where my client, the plaintiff, previously resided shall also be transferred to the plaintiff. The plaintiff, what is your response?
Your Honor, the so-called reasonable compensation offered by the defendant is anything but reasonable. During the course of this marriage, my client, Mrs. Elena Hale, made irreplaceable and significant contributions to the founding and development of Voss Real Estate, including but not limited to providing $3 million in startup capital, assisting in drafting the company's articles of incorporation and bid documents, and leveraging her personal network to secure the company's first major client. This is the bank transfer record from that time. $3 million transferred from Elena Hall's personal account to Hunter Joe Voss's personal account, dated March 17th, 10 years ago. This is Voss Real Estate's very first project proposal. The print date is stamped right here, 2:43 a.m., and the log-on account came from Elena Hall's personal laptop. This is the business correspondence with Voss Real Estate's first major client, New York Construction Group. The referring party, Elena Hale. Based on all of the above evidence, my client requests the division of all marital assets, including but not limited to company shares.
Your Honor, these materials only demonstrate that during the startup phase, the plaintiff provided assistance to my client to the best of her ability. This is normal mutual support between spouses.
I'm not finished yet. This is the complete documentation of the assets transferred by Mr. Hunter Joe Voss through 2 Cayman Islands offshore companies.
How does she know about this?
Over the past 3 years, a total of $320 million in assets were transferred, $210 million of which went to a third-party female account, that of Mrs. Fancy She.
Mr. Hunter Voss, is this true? You really transferred assets? This is very damaging to your case. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Furthermore, Mr. Hunter Joe Voss maintained an improper relationship with Miss Fancy Z for 3 years. Miss Fancy Z gave birth to a male child for defendant earlier this month.
The defendant, what is your response to these claims?
Your Honor, I need to verify the authenticity of these materials. With so much evidence presented, my team needs time to examine each piece.
All materials were obtained through legal channels. The bank records are official documents with official stamps. The offshore company documents were provided by registered agencies with official seals. The paternity test was completed by an accredited hospital and carries full legal weight.
This is just your side of the story. Your Honor, my client still demands verification of authenticity.
If the defendant wants verification, that's fine, but my client will simultaneously file for asset preservation. We request the court to freeze all accounts and assets associated with Mr. Hunter Joe Voss and Ms. Fancy She to prevent further dissipation of marital assets during the proceedings.
No! If you freeze my assets, my company is finished!
Objection overruled.
Pierce, think of something quick.
What do you expect me to think of now?
Order. In light of the evidence provided by the plaintiff, which preliminary indicates that asset transfers have indeed occurred, and given the substantial amount involved, there exists a risk of further asset dissipation, the motion for asset preservation is hereby granted.
Elena, how much do you want? Just name your price.
I told you, I'm gonna send you back to where you were 10 years ago.
If you push me this hard, and Voss collapses, you won't get any money either. This will only hurt both of us.
Even if I don't get a single cent, I still want to get this anger out of my system. And whether Voss collapses or not, that's for me, Elena Hall, to decide.
50 million plus the villa. Is that enough?
Not enough.
100 million, Elena! 100 million! Is that enough now?
You spent over 200 million on Fancy She.
And you think 100 million can get rid of me? You're still trying to shortchange me at a time like this? Besides, do I even need that 100 million? What I want is everything you have.
Elena! You're out of your mind! You crazy woman! Elena, you need to understand there's not a single shareholder list at Voss Group with your name on it. Even if the court rules in your favor, at best, you'll get half of the Merrill assets. The company is, no one is taking it away.
Then, just see.
Mr. Hunter Voss, I know you're not willing to give up, that you want to prove yourself, but we can't afford to lose and we can't afford to drag this out. Just concede. The next hearing will take at least half a month. They could drag this out for a month or even 2. If Voss is gone, what's the point of ending this?
Hunter Voss is right about one thing. The company shares aren't in your name. Taking over the company is going to be tough. Even if the court awards you a portion of the shares, you still won't be able to control the company, and you certainly won't be able to force him out.
Actually, it's not that complicated.
Jonathan, about that partnership we discussed last time, we can start talking details now.
Elena, I've been waiting for this call for 3 days.
Then how about we find a place to grab some coffee?
Sure, my treat. I know a great spot.
Who is this Jonathan?
Jonathan Hart, the founder of Helflin Capital, an old friend of my father's. 2 years ago, when Hunter Voss was raising funds, he took a 12% stake.
12%? Plus the 17% Luke is holding on his half of? That's 29%.
Hunter Voss holds 61% of the shares in his own name. He'll have to give me at least half of that.
Then the percentage of shares you hold would be over 50%.
So the outcome of this battle was sealed from the very beginning. He just had no idea.
Incredible.
How did she find out about those 200 million? Didn't you say it was foolproof?
But she knows now.
I told you, those 200 million are my last safety net. Even if you had nothing, I still need that money to get by for the rest of my life. No one is touching that money.
Go tell that to the judge then.
So what do we do now?
What else can we do? Whatever she wants, give it to her. All I want now is to keep Voss alive. Even if I have to give her half the shares, Lucas is still holding some on my behalf. Together, I'm still the majority shareholder. The company will still be mine. I refuse to believe that Elena, as the company's second largest shareholder, would just stand by and watch Voss go under.
You can give her the shares, but that 200 million that belongs to me, you're not touching a single cent of it.
Besides the shares, I still have to give her cash. I don't have enough money.
What does that have to do with me? I told you, that 200 million is my only safety net. It's mine.
Say that again?
So what if I say it again?
At a time like this, you still want to wash your hands of this? It has nothing to do with... No, with you! Huh?
Hunter Voss! What are you doing? Let go! Let go of her! Can't the two of you just talk things out properly?
Mom, stay out of this! You transfer that money to me right now! I'm going to go settle things with her, so the company can still be saved, and you can still be a rich man's wife! Otherwise, once the court enforces the order, you won't get a single cent either! If the company goes under, I'm done for! If you don't transfer that money to me today, we all go down together!
Let go. I'll give it.
Transfer the money to me right now!
It's transferred.
So I have to do things the hard way with you, don't I? I can give you half of my assets and half of the 61% of the shares. If you have no objections, sign this property division agreement.
Why so agreeable all of a sudden?
Voss Real Estate can't afford to drag this out. Is that answer satisfactory to you?
But I'm not done having fun yet.
Elena, don't go too far. I've already made the biggest concessions I can.
Mr. Hunter Voss, your attitude when begging for something is really quite something.
You!
Miss Elena, even if the court rules, the result will be no different from this. If Voss goes bankrupt, what meaning would any of this have for you?
The contract is clean. Fine then.
So now you can lift the blockade on Voss Group, right?
Go to City Hall and finalize the divorce first. Once that's done, I'll lift it. After all, I'm now a major shareholder of Voss Group. I'm not in the business of losing money.
Fine.
Just letting him off that easily? Not a chance. I told you, I'm going to leave him with nothing.
Elena, I don't think I've ever seen you smile this happily.
I'm divorced. Of course I'm happy. I'm free. I'm finally free.
Don't you feel even a little bit nostalgic about what we had before?
When I think about the past, all I feel is how unbelievably stupid I was. 10 years of my youth, 10 years of my genuine heart, all thrown to the dogs. Now that I'm a shareholder of Voss, notify everyone. Let's have a shareholders meeting tomorrow. I have something important to announce.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce everyone to our second largest shareholder of Voss Group, Elena Hall. Holding 30% of the shares, everyone, welcome.
Thank you all for the warm welcome. As a major shareholder of Voss, I happen to have a proposal. I propose that we remove Hunter Voss from his position as chairman and expel him from the board of directors.
Elena, you're insane!
Let's vote on it.
Elena, we may have the same number of shares, but I've been running Voss for years, and you just got here. Isn't this a bit far-fetched? Lucas! What do you mean by you're my brother? The shares you hold are on my behalf, and you're betraying me?
But the company was built on Elena's foundation in the first place. With Elena in charge, the company can only do better.
That's exactly right. What exactly did Elena promise you? Back when your company was raising funds, the reason I bought into your shares was because of Elena's reputation. Without Elena, do you think I would have had any faith in your company and invest in it?
You!
Of course, business is business. The company's interests come before everything else. Your personal issues have already severely impacted the company's stock price and reputation. As a shareholder, I have to be responsible for my own investment.
The vote has passed. Effective today, Voss Real Estate shall be officially renamed.
You're trying to swallow up my company! You're trying to swallow up my company?
Wrong. As of just now, there is no Voss Real Estate in New York anymore. I'll have a professional team handle the restructuring.
You're going to dilute my shares too?
You have objections, but noted.
Fine, Elena. You're ruthless. You win. Voss is yours. Elena, what about the shares I was holding?
Of that 17% you were holding, 2% goes to you personally and another 5% goes to Arthur. The rest goes to me.
Thank you, Elena.
Meeting adjourned. Keeping it around would just be a waste of space.
Honey, you're home. Now that you're divorced, we can finally get married.
Before she had the baby, she used to act this innocent.
What's wrong, honey? Honey, we owe our child a complete family, don't we?
For the sake of the child, we can get married, but I'm not transferring any shares to you. All of my assets will be premarital property.
No! You have to give me half of the shares. You promised me that.
You still have the nerve to say that? It's all because of you. I got kicked off the board. Now Voss belongs to her. To Elena.
What did you say?
I said I got kicked off the board. Voss Real Estate has officially been renamed Hale Real Estate.
How could this happen?
It's all because of you. Now Voss is gone and my shares will be diluted by at least half.
You couldn't keep it in your pants? And now you're blaming a woman? I don't care. You promised me. Even if it's only 10% of the shares, you still have to give me 5%. Otherwise, I'm taking my son and leaving, and your Voss family line ends here.
Just try it.
See if I dare.
Oh, come on. Why are you two fighting again? Aren't you afraid of waking the baby? Honestly.
Get away from me! Don't touch my child!
Mom, are you okay? Fancy C, you dare push my mother?
I'll ask you one more time. Are you giving me those shares or not? Give me back my child!
Mom, take the child and go first.
Give me back my child!
Fancy C, you like scheming, don't you? You'll never see this child again. I'm done being threatened by you.
Come back here! Give me back my child! Hunter Voss, if you dare to walk away with my child today, I'll jump from right here!
Cece! don't do anything rash. Come down, let's talk this through.
Hunter Voss, give me back my child and give me my shares. You promised me before.
Jump if you want. My son will never be given to you. You can forget about that.
Son, you...
Mom, she's just bluffing. A calculating woman like her would never actually jump.
Grandfather, this is the integration plan for Hale and Voss Real Estate. Please take a look.
You can handle these things yourself.
Grandfather?
Your parents left too early, and your grandfather is getting old. You're the only heir of the Hale family. All of this responsibility should naturally fall on your shoulders.
Grandfather, I won't let you down.
I believe that with Hale Group in your hands, it will only get better and better.
Doctor, how is she?
The patient's spine was severely injured. She survived, but there's a high chance she will be permanently disabled.
How did it come to this? A perfectly good family. How did it all fall apart like this? Karma. This is all karma.
Karma. This is all karma.
Rest assured, for the rest of my life, I will treat you well. Elena, I love you. I will give you the whole world. All these years, what have I been doing? I was so wrong.
Honey, you're back.
I'm sorry. We can never go back.
Fell from the rooftop? How is she?
Her spine was injured. The doctor said she'll most likely be paralyzed for life. Basically no chance of recovery. If you ask me, this is her karma. She was a homewrecker. She deserved it.
All right. You can go now.
Yes, Elena.
Bro.
Shouldn't you be at the hospital with your new love? What are you doing here?
Elena, I know I have no right to ask for your forgiveness, but I'm begging you for one thing. I hope you'll agree.
Go ahead, but I'm not promising anything.
Take all of my shares. All of them.
How much?
$3 million. Bro, are you out of your mind? 30% of the shares. That's enough to keep you comfortable for the rest of your life. How could you sell it for only $3 million? Fancy C is still lying in the hospital right now, and the child still needs you to support him.
$3 million.
$3 million. That's exactly how much I gave you as startup capital back then. Are you trying to atone for your sins now? Or do you want to take that $3 million and start over? To prove that everything you achieved was through your own hard work?
Bro, don't be impulsive.
Fine. $3 million. I'll take it.
The baby. Give me the baby.
Shishi, you can't move right now. Wait until you're better, okay?
I want it now! Give me back my son! That's my child! What right do you have to take my child away from me? You're all just a bunch of liars! Hunter Voss, you liar!
What are you carrying on about? You can't even move. Even if I gave you the child, could you take care of him?
Then give me the shares. You promised me 30%. The reason I ended up like this, it's all because of you!
The shares, they're gone.
What did you say?
I sold the shares.
Sold them?
Guess how much I sold them for?
I don't care how much you sold them for. Give me the money.
$3 million.
$3 million.
30% of Voss's shares and you only sold them for $3 million? Hunter Voss, are you out of your mind? What are me and my son supposed to do now?
Wasn't your whole goal to marry me and become Mrs. Voss? Once you're discharged, we'll get married.
I'll make sure you're Mrs. Voss for the rest of your life.
No, I don't want to.
At this point, who's right and who's wrong doesn't even matter anymore. Don't worry. Even if you're paralyzed, I won't abandon you. I'll take good care of you for the rest of your life, for the rest of our lives. Let's just make each other miserable.
I don't want to marry you. Get out. Stay away from me. Even if I die, I don't want you taking care of me.
Son.
Mom, 10 years ago, Elena gave me $3 million in startup capital. Now I'm selling my company shares to her for $3 million. That's what I owe her. I've already issued a public statement and announcement. It's too late for you to talk me out of it now.
Well, I suppose that's for the best. At least everything's settled now.
It's Elaine again. Why are all of you doing this to me? Tell her to give that money back. Give it back to me!
Go ahead and scream all you want. You can't even move anyway. When you've yelled yourself out, you'll settle down.
The 157 condominium project completion report on my desk within 3 days.
Understood, Miss Elena.
Voss Real Estate resumed operations under my restructuring. The 157 condominiums were delivered on schedule.
Miss Elena, congratulations. The Manhattan Skyline project, industry insiders are calling it a miracle.
It's not a miracle. It's every member of the team doing the right thing at the right time.
Sold out on opening day? That's rare in New York real estate.
The new project, Manhattan Skyline, sold out on opening day, with sales reaching $1 billion. The business integration of Hale Recal Materials and Voss Real Estate is complete. Supply chain, sales channels, client resources, all finally connected. This isn't just a merger of two companies, it's a closed loop of the entire industry chain. The two companies have formed an upstream down-up closed circle. Market value has exceeded $15 billion. Market value of $15 billion. 10 years ago, I left with $3 million. Now I'm back with $15 billion. These 10 years, worth it.
Where's Elena? Tell her to get the hell out here and face me!
Fancy she, if you keep causing trouble, don't blame me for—
That's right. After everything you've done, you still have the nerve to come looking for Elena? Don't you have any shame? I lost my shares and my money. What shame do I have left? Tell that bitch Elena to get the hell out here and face me!
What's going on?
You bitch! Give me back my money and my shares! Those are mine! My son's!
$3 million. You took 30% of Hunter Voss's shares for just $3 million.
You're absolutely ruthless! If you don't give it back to me today, I'll make sure everyone knows about this!
Fine. Then let me help you. You, get her the best influencers. Set up a live stream for her. Push the traffic.
Don't you dare leave!
Oh, and you? Lock her brakes. Let her say whatever she wants online.
You!
That woman Elena, taking advantage of her money and power, she took 30% of my shares in Voss for just $3 million. She's not even human. She's a demon who devours people without spitting out the bones.
A while back, she nearly ruined someone's life with notification and left them with nothing.
You're lying! That was all Elena forcing me!
Absolutely shameless, doing all those terrible things and still acting so self-righteous.
You shut up! I gave the Voss family a son. That money and those shares should have been mine by right. What right did Hunter Vass have to sell my equity? If you ask me, he and that woman Elena conspired together to cheat me.
Are you done making a scene yet?
Hunter Vass, did Elena send you here to get rid of me? I'm telling you, not a chance! Even if I die today, I'm getting my shares back!
Since you don't want to leave, then don't. You keep making a scene here for as long as you want, and I'll stay right here with you for as long as it takes. Go ahead. Don't worry, I won't interrupt you. Keep going.
Later, Hunter Voss took Fancy C and left New York. I heard that when Fancy C left, she cursed Hunter Voss, cursed Marguerite.
It's all because of you. Why did you have to push me away?
Because from the very beginning, all you ever wanted was money. I couldn't give you what you wanted anymore, so you hate me.
Then what about our son? Will I ever get to see him again?
When you can take care of yourself, I'll let you see him.
He's gone?
Gone. Took Fancy She and left New York.
Later I heard from Lucas. Hunter Voss and Fancy She have been tormenting each other ever since. I heard they fight every single day they see each other. Neither one willing to let the other go.
My brother now, he's completely changed. Every day he just pushes Fancy's wheelchair out for sunshine and walks. But the two of them don't say a single word to each other. That kind of silence is even more terrifying than fighting.
He's in his 30s, but he looks like he's in his 60s. Fancy She curses him every single day, but he doesn't even care anymore.
Elena, are you really not going to see him one last time?
There's nothing to see. He chose this path himself. He's already paid his debts, and the people who needed to pay the price already have.
I suppose so. I'll head out then.
Lucas, he's your brother. If you want to stay in touch with him, you don't hide it from me.
Got it.
Everything between them, the good and the bad, the sweet and the bitter, it's all in the past now. In my life now, there's only myself, and a better future ahead.
Your technique keeps getting better. Even better than a professional masseuse.
Of course. Grandfather is getting older by the day. I make sure to spend time with him every single day so he can enjoy his golden years.
Having you by my side, this old man's life has been worth it.
Elena, while you're still young, you really should find yourself a suitable partner.
Grandfather, the chef's cooking today is absolutely amazing.
Every time I bring this up, you change the subject.
Then maybe you should stop bringing it up. Wouldn't it be better if I just kept you company over a meal?
Fine. I won't say any more. Let's eat.
Grandfather told me to find someone suitable while I'm still young. I didn't agree, and Grandfather never brought it up again.
Now, let's welcome Miss Elena Hale to give her speech. You now have 3 publicly traded companies under your name, and you rank 5th on the Forbes Business Leaders list. May I ask, what is the secret to your success?
Choose the right path, and stay away from the wrong people. What's in the past, never look back. Elena, looking back over all these years, who are you most grateful to? A retired old butler. A butler? On the day he retired, he told me a secret. That secret changed my entire life. It pulled me out of the mud, cleared my name, and that's why I can stand here today. Elena, what's your next plan? Hale Group's next 5-year goal, $100 billion in market value.
Stop it, you guys.
Back then I thought, this was my entire life. That promise, that vow, I never doubted a single word of it.
All procedures are complete. These are your final divorce judgment documents. Please keep them safe. Your marriage is hereby officially dissolved.
Elena, I don't think I've ever seen you smile this happily.
I'm divorced. Of course I'm happy. Some people pass through your life to help you grow. Some pain, once you survive it, becomes your strongest armor. At the next crossroads, may everyone become an even brighter version of themselves.